Okay.
Sure, I got that email today too, but none of the DataShake downloads or whatever review fetches have worked since I last tried implementing version 2 on Friday. I think it was when I sent you that list of questions.
Okay, so all right. So what we'll do is we're going to go through setup from start to finish, like I said earlier. Once we're done setting it up, we'll be open to questions. And like I said, if you have issues that come up, like Tim, you had an issue with any of the reviews not scraping properly or not pulling the reviews in properly, just let us know, and then we can investigate. A lot of these things we're going to need your credentials for to kind of log in and investigate and find out why it's not pulling. And other stuff, I mean, if you just flag us an issue, then we can kind of like go into our backend and see exactly what's going on and make adjustments like for certain things, anything review management related, or if there's anything with the snapshot we can update, we will update it and we'll push an update out through email. But if there's anything else specific to your sub account, then we're going to need a support ticket sent to us so we can kind of go in and kind of investigate for your specific case. So here's what I'll do. I'll share my screen and we can go through.
Hey, Shad, did you say we were streaming this? We were going to stream this in the Facebook group, or just leave it on the Zoom?
I'm not sure actually.
Okay, we'll just leave it on the Zoom, and anyone wants to catch the recording after.
Yeah, cool.
Should we assume, Shaw, that people in here are ones that have access to version 1 as well, or is that not true?
Well, I think it's open to all. So anyone that joined the Zoom meeting is, I'm not sure if anyone's in here that it doesn't have access to version 2 or just version 1. But regardless, I'm just going to go through the setup process from start to finish, and then from there, we'll be open to questions.
Just to clarify, anyone who has version 1 has access to version 2.
Right. I have questions that kind of compare the two versions, but I might take those offline.
Yeah. So for now, our game plan, so we can stay on time, is we want to do a walkthrough of version 2 from setup, the process, the thought process, how to go about doing it. And we'll try, anyone who has questions, either just paste them in the chat or hold on to them. Because a lot of times we got support questions along the way. And from about 50% of the time, it's because people skipped over steps. And we find out they didn't follow one of the steps, and then we have to dig in. That's why we want to do this, clarify where the misunderstandings are, or what we can do to better our documentation, so we can alleviate the questions, because obviously we don't like when people have questions, and we don't want to have to spend time answering questions. So if we can make things as clear as possible up front, obviously we're incrementally doing that right now. We hired support staff to jump in to help out, to be more hands-on to assist us, because there's a lot of questions, a lot of people message every day. So we're trying to optimize things a little bit more. We're catching up.
One quick question
right now.
Yep.
How do you know if you have the latest update installed?
You mean for the snapshot?
Yes.
Okay, so the best thing to do is whenever you're importing a snapshot, rename the snapshot with the current date. I think Bill mentioned this in the group. Renaming the snapshot whenever you're importing it is generally a good idea, especially since we're using the snapshot in the RMS system. So whenever you import a new snapshot, just name it differently, maybe even add a date on it. And then from there, go into your RMS system and then change the default snapshot to use whenever you're creating a new sub account. I'm going to go through that process with everyone right now. I'm going to be importing the snapshot and renaming it. And then from there, I'll load it into my account and then kind of create 2 companies. And I hope everything works exactly the way it should and nothing breaks while I'm doing it, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so share my screen. Can everyone see my screen?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so first things first, if you go to your accounts setting over here, you log into your GHL Experts account and you click on ReviewPanda, you should have access to this side, this section over here. The top side is the 3 videos that I created. I'm going to keep expanding on that. So so far we have 3 videos, and these 3 videos kind of go through the setup process of setting up your ReviewPanda account. The link to the snapshots right here, that's required. And of course, you know, the integration that we're going to need to use to integrate. So what I'm going to do is, first things first, you would want to import the snapshot. So I'm going to go from scratch. This is using this snapshot link right here. So once you load that snapshot right there, gonna want to log into your account, sign in, and then from there, you can import the snapshot. So we have it over here. I'm going to rename this to 0223. There we go. I'm going to close that out. And all right, so on your agency side over here, what you would need to do is first go to settings. I hope I'm not going too fast for you guys, but once you have your snapshot loaded, just go to your, actually you can, let's go check out our snapshot over here, import snapshots. Yeah, we have it right over here. So go to your settings page, and then from here, the first things first is you want to go to your agency settings, go down to your custom JavaScript, and make sure you copy this right here into your custom JavaScript. Copy this whole, there's 2 lines, 2 scripts that you want to copy over, and you paste it in here. And once you have that pasted, you want to click on Update Company over here. Next, you would want to go to Custom Menu Link, and you want to add a custom menu link over here. So you could click on Create New, choose an icon. I'll just use, let's just use this one for now. You can name it anything you want. So just name it as ORM. You want to uncheck this right here. And for the URL, you want to grab this link right here and paste it in here. And select this right here, click on Save. And once you get that in there, you'll have that link over here. So let's open that up right now. All right, so you'll see already have a sub account created and active sources and some data in here. This is because this is the account that I used when I created the videos that's on the playlist. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go to sub accounts. This is the sub account that I created earlier, but what we're going to do right now is we're going to add a new sub account. I got a support ticket, I think it was today, where someone was trying to add a sub account and nothing was loaded. But I believe the thing is they were adding the sub account, but they weren't adding snapshot on the sub account. So the difference between these two, actually, let me take a step back and actually go to agency settings. So on agency settings, you want to make sure that you have your API key over here set up. Let me just erase that and update that, kind of like get everything back to standard. You want to pop in the high level account API key that you need to pop in over here. This isn't your agency level API key. This is the API key for a sub account that you have for your agency. You could honestly use any sub account API keys, but I mean, it would be good practice if you use, if you have a account in high level that you use for your own agency, use that API key, because you're not going to be deleting that sub account, and the API key is just going to vanish, and you won't be able to create any new accounts. So what you want to do is, let's go to, which tab am I on, this one here. So just go to the sub account that you for your agency, and then just copy over the API key. Go to settings, go to company, and then from here, just copy over this API key and then paste it in here and click on update. So once that's updated, you'd want to click on this button over here and select the snapshot. So the snapshot we imported has a new date over here. So, just select that specific one, the latest one, and click on update. And there you have it. So now every time you create a new account from within RMS, it'll use this snapshot. And of course, your data shake key and your camera tag API key, these two things are important. As soon as you add your data shake API key, you'd want to add the credits that you have associated to your data shake account, and as well as your camera tag API key. You pop in your camera tag API key over here, and then from there you'd want to, for the alert, this is mainly if you want to be alerted for the amount of minutes being used for the month, so you can kind of manage your credits on camera tag and your account level if you want to increase it to the next level. I think they have 4 different subscription packages on camera tag. All right, so once you have this set up, then you can go to sub accounts and you can start creating sub accounts. So there's 2 different methods of creating a sub account. One of them is literally creating a sub account from scratch. So this is a snapshot that's going to be used. You pop in their company name, address, city, country, state. Everything is straightforward. You just pop in the information for the company, and if you want to purchase a Twilio number, click on that and click on add. So what that's going to do is it's going to first create the account, and it's going to load the snapshot. It's essentially running the same process as creating a new account through Zapier. So if any of you guys are familiar with creating a new account through Zapier, it's running the exact same process as that. You'd want to wait a few minutes before accessing the sub account, because there's a lot of assets being loaded from the snapshot. I would say probably 1 to 2 minutes before all assets are loaded from the snapshot. And then, the best practice would be, once you add a new account, you'd want to go in and kind of take a look and make sure if everything is loaded in properly. What I'll do is I'll just create a new account real quick. Just pop in anything over here for now. Canada. And click on add. Until that's done. So we got that over here. We're going to try to find that account later. And now for the direct sub account, that's another process. So whenever you're adding a direct sub account, you got to make sure that your account already has the snapshot loaded. The thing is, for this method, we cannot load a snapshot directly after your account has been created unless you have an agency level API key. And we haven't tackled those API calls yet because not everyone has the agency level API access. So for now, what you'd have to do is, so we have an account created over here. That's this one right here. So you want to go to your accounts, click on the account that you want to load the snapshot on, click on actions, and click on load snapshot. All right, so once you click on load snapshot, you want to select the specific snapshot. It's this one right here. And click on proceed. Proceed. You can, so that's good. And you click on proceed. And now you got to wait till the snapshot's loaded. And what we're going to do is we're going to find that account afterwards. Actually, let's go to it right now. Okay, so for this specific process, once you have your account created and you have the snapshot loaded, you would want to go to the sub account itself, click on add sub account, Pizza Hut, location ID would be this right here. Copy that over. And the location API key, as everyone knows, go to settings, go to company, and copy this over and paste that in here. So you gotta make sure you got the location ID and the location API key and click on add.
Shaw, is the rule of thumb that if you have basically click the green button if you don't have an account set up, and use the orange button if you already have the snapshot loaded and the sub account created already?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
That's
so
the deal.
If you don't have a sub account, if you need to create a sub account, you click on this and it'll create an account. This is if you have to add an account that's already created.
Got it.
So here we have both different methods that I use. And what we can do is we can go into the first one over here, click on view and configure. Let's go. So this is not the one actually. It's this one over here that I created. All right, let's see. Let's take a look real quick and see if all the all right, so got campaigns loaded. Funnels have been loaded. Settings, custom values. Okay, looks like the custom values have been loaded. So everything's loaded on this account, looks like. Let's go to forms actually. Yeah, looks like everything has been loaded. So if you remember, this was the account that we created using the first method, which was creating the sub account. And let's go to view and configure over here. So I went through all these features in the video. Location ID is exactly that, the location ID of this specific account. The camera tag video length. So if you have camera tag integrated for video testimonials, this is the maximum length you'd want to set up for any videos that you're getting in. So I have it set up as at 30, and the amount of minutes allotted per month would be 20. So in this case, this account will have 60, is it 60 videos? 40 videos per month. And in my opinion, I think that's more than enough for testimonials. And this is an incremental value for how many minutes being used for the month for the specific account. This specific account. The webhook itself, this is going to be used for pushing any new reviews that we received in the RMS system to an external system. So what this can be used for is, for instance, if you want to use Zapier to push any new reviews onto your social channels, you don't want to use this webhook. I'm going to be releasing a video in the future about this. I would say probably by next week, I can catch up on a lot of these videos. So I'm going to be releasing a video as well as a Zapier share link. So if anyone wants to post any new reviews onto social channels, you'd want to use this field right here. So essentially what's going to happen is it's going to post any new reviews onto your Zapier webhook. And then from there, there's going to be a parse that's going to happen for the JSON query. And then from there, it's going to push onto any of the Facebook or Twitter accounts that you have connected on your Zapier. So this frequency over here is how many times you want DataShake to pull in new reviews for this specific account. You can either select daily, weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. The positive rating threshold, this is specifically selecting what is the threshold for a positive review for this specific account. Generally speaking, 4 and 5 are pretty much positive reviews, and 1 to 3 is generally like, you know, negative reviews. However, you can always adjust this and make it into a 3, I would suggest. The lowest to go is a 3. Anything lower, I think 1 and 2 should be left out as a positive review. And what this does is if someone selects 3 or 4 stars, it'll show them the links to external review sites, Google, Facebook, whatever you have set up. 1 to 3 will show the review request form, the feedback form. Apart from that, this callback URL, this is used in the custom value over here, and it's used in a webhook so that whenever anyone submits a direct review, it'll push into the RMS system. And that's important because on the RMS system, since we have widgets, we want to make sure we're capturing all reviews, reviews that are being sent from high level itself, and reviews that are being submitted from all the review channels, as well as camera tag, you know, so we can post all these reviews onto the widgets. So this is, you know, a reference point, but you don't really need to use it. And of course, the logo, you just click over here and you select whatever logo you want to select for this specific account. These 2 buttons up here, okay, deactivate is going to deactivate this account. And you would want to use this as if, for instance, you know, this company stops paying you, and, you know, you don't want them to have features of, you know, your review management platform anymore. You just click on deactivate, and that's just going to deactivate the account, not necessarily delete the account. Obviously, the delete sub account is if, you know, you want to completely remove this from your system. Keep in mind this delete sub account does not delete the actual sub account on high level. It's just going to delete the sub account on the RMS system. So for instance, if let's say you lose a client, you know, Wendy's doesn't want to pay anymore, they're completely gone, you deleted their sub account from high level and you want to get them off the RMS system, you just click on delete sub account from here and it's going to completely wipe it out of your sub account list right here. The send welcome package, this is going to run a trigger to send this specific campaign right here. If you go to campaigns and you go to activation welcome email, it's going to be sending this specific email once you have everything set up. So it's good practice to make sure you have everything set up. And once you have everything set up, you would click on send welcome package. The review profile setup, this is pretty straightforward. If ever you want to add any of these accounts, you just click on add account. And if you know, you have their Facebook review link or anything else, you know, you would add that specific link. I'm not going to be adding any review profiles for this specific account. I'm going to be adding it for the other account, the Pizza Hut account that we created. But I'm just going through everything on this specific account. So for instance, if you have a Facebook link, you just add the, you know, the end part of the URL, which is this right here, facebook.com, and the page name. For everything else, it's pretty much straightforward. It's the link itself. For Google, it's either you type in the business name over here and you pick whatever shows up on the autocomplete. So if I'm adding a Wendy's and you have a specific Wendy's location, you just select that from here. Or you can add a specific query. And of course, it's not shifting to the other tab. Let me refresh this page, right? Okay. Okay, for some reason I wasn't switching. I'll check up on that later. So yeah, this button right here is if you want to refresh the current session or the current screen. Instead of refreshing everything, you just refresh this and it actually refreshes the ReviewPanda side. You know, if anything gets stuck, just click on refresh over here and you know, just refresh the page. So if you want to search by, if you want to add a search query, this is something like, you know, Carter Electrical Toronto. So if I type that into Google, this is the company. Well, this is not a good company to kind of like go by. Maybe Pizza Hut Dorval, you know, if you want to go by query, this is the GMB that it'll select. So there's two different methods, okay? We're going to add a third method in the future, and that's to, you know, if you want to connect to their GMB directly. So you would click on that and connect to their GMB directly. And if you connect to their GMB directly, it's going to be pulling the reviews directly without using DataShake. But that's going to be on a future iteration. We want to make sure we fix all the bugs and all the issues that are being flagged to us, and, you know, kind of refine our current process a little better. And then once we have that in, then we're going to start adding new features onto the current version of ReviewPanda.
What's JMB?
Google My Business page.
Thank you. GMB. Okay, got it.
Yeah. The same thing with Facebook. With Facebook, it's going to be this, you know, right now we have the Facebook page URL. And then if you want to add a Facebook page by connecting to the Facebook page, we're going to have a different tab over here where you can log into their Facebook page. And if you have access to their Facebook page, you would just connect to their Facebook page exactly how you would do it through high level. So the review list is going to be a list of all reviews that we pulled in from the specific account. There's nothing here because we haven't added anything. And the widgets is going to be where all the widgets are going to be located. The video capture funnel widget, this specific option right here is if you want to update, let's go to funnels real quick. RMS funnels, let's go to the video funnel, okay? And if I open that up right here, so this video review funnel is going to be, sorry, this option right here, your thoughts, will update this right here. Okay, this tooltip right here. And what would you like to share along with your video is pretty much this text right here. Your name and email is something that we need to keep static, but this is something you can change. with these labels over here. In the future, you know, we might give you more options to change this. This is not a high-level form. This is a form that we needed to host on our own servers so we can pull in information and post it onto the RMS system. But in future iterations, we might give you guys the ability to change this depending on the requests that we're getting on our side. And of course, these widgets are the images are a little too small. It might have, you know, something a little bigger where you can click and view themselves. But I'm going to be opening up a different account afterwards, and we're going to go through some of the widgets and how they look. So that's that. And on the sub account side, now let's go to Pizza Hut, and what we're going to do is we're going to be setting up a review profile over here. So as you can see over here, we have a profile for Pizza Hut. So we're going to go back to, I'm going to close off this Wendy's profile. We don't need that anymore. We're back to Pizza Hut over here. This is actually a issue that a lot of people have pointed out. So I'm going to show people how it works. Once you click on this, you need to click on update. And once that's done, if you go back to your account over here, you see it says check-in client. If I hard refresh this, it should update to the review request button. There you go. So when you click on that, that shouldn't work. Well, that should work. It shouldn't be doing that. Okay, I'm not sure why that flashed before. I'm going to look into that. But once you click on review request, then you'll have the review request form directly integrated into your sub account itself. So, you know, this is a selector for what type of review you want to send. It's either direct, online, or video, received by email, SMS, or both. You know, first name, last name, email, mobile phone number, and click on yes, and click on send review request. Now, whenever you do this, what's going to happen is it's going to be sending the campaign to that specific client to request a review by either video, online review, meaning, you know, Google, yeah, whatever you have set up on RMS, or the direct review. And the direct review is going to be sending the funnel, which we're going to go review later in this video. So that's this option right here. What we're going to do is we're going to set up a review profile over here. So let's click on add for Google. And this is going to be Wendy's. Sorry, not Wendy's. We're going to go back to Pizza Hut over here. So this is Pizza Hut Dorval, right? Dorval. I think this is the one. Click on add profile and close that. And here we go. So we have the Google setup, and as you can see, the status is loading. So this means that the information has sent to DataShake, and we're waiting for the reviews to be pulled in. Because, I mean, the timing of this video kind of sucks because, you know, DataShake is having some issues with their API. So chances are it's going to be queued until DataShake releases an update and fixes their API. But thankfully, I already have a profile with reviews that were already pulled in. So we're going to be using that to review the review list and the widgets. So that's for Google. And if you want to add any other of the review sites, you know what I mean, BBB or whatnot, you just click on add and add that in there. If there is a review site that you don't see over here and you know you do need it here, just let us know and we can add it to our development queue to find out if DataShake supports it. And if it does support it, then we're going to add it. I believe Foursquare was requested. I'm not sure if our developers got. No, it looks like we didn't add Foursquare yet, but it is in the dev list, and we're going to be adding Foursquare on here. If there's any other review sources that anyone wants to add, just let us know and we'll add it.
Sure. Sorry to interrupt you. On this page, the customer is going to have access to this, right? Because that's where they're going to see this.
No, this is on the agency side. This is not on you're as an agency. It's you that will set up everything for the client.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. That was okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
fine. Answered.
So if you have questions, just write them out and just you can post them in the chat. We'll jump on the questions once I'm done the
do.
setup from start to finish. Okay. So review list, like I said before, the review list will update all the reviews that were pulled in. So the review list will have all the reviews that were pulled in from DataShake, all the direct reviews, and any camera tag reviews. And widgets is something that we're going to touch up on the other sub account. Like I said, because DataShake is having issues, we're just going to jump into this specific account that I already created. It already has some reviews, and we'll go through the review list and also the widgets itself. What I'll do is I'll actually open up the account as well, so we can test out the other funnels and whatnot. I believe this is the account. Let's just take a look real quick. Yes, this is it. Okay, so I have everything set up over here already. So if I go to review list, this is all the reviews that are pulled from DataShake. Okay, so you got Facebook, you got Google. If you click on perform actions, there really aren't any actions you can perform on Google reviews. Deny will just remove the review on your list. It doesn't really mean that it's going to remove the specific review on from Google. It's just going to remove it from the ReviewPanda system, and it won't show up on your widget list on your review widgets. However, if you have camera tag reviews or if you have direct reviews, you'll have other actions over here for approve or deny. And now the approve or deny status is important because if you have a video review that you don't want to approve, you can click on deny, and what it'll do is it'll shelve that review and it won't show up on your widgets right here. It's the same thing with direct reviews. If you get any direct review, you want to monitor those, and then if the status is pending, the status is going to be pending for any reviews that you don't have approval for or deny for. So whenever it's pending, you don't want to make sure they're approved or you deny those reviews, and if you approve them, they're going to show up on your widgets. Yeah, so what we're going to do right now is I'm going to show you how these widgets look. So I have JS Fiddle over here. So this, if many of you guys don't know, you can go to jsfiddle.net and you can test out any of the scripts that you have. So this is the first, oops, I lost my tab over here. So this is the first review widget, which is this one right here. I have a limit set to 10 reviews and show totals, which is the default. So if I paste this in here and I click on run, this is what the first widget will look like. If I go to the second one, we're going to go through each one of them one by one. Paste that in here, click on run. This is how the second one looks like. And keep in mind, I only have 10 reviews showing. If I go to this one right here, paste that in here. This is the carousel one, and so on and so forth. So I suggest you go on to JS Fiddle just to test out the reviews and well, check out the last one actually. Yeah, it's this one right here. So
Hey, Sean, just a comment on where you said we're 4.2 out of 10 reviews.
Yeah.
I think we had a few people comment about where it says 10 reviews.
Yeah, I believe that's fixed. Let's try that out. Let's click on 50 over here and click on update. Go back to this widget. Copy this.
The verbiage made it seem like they only had 10 reviews.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Versus only displaying 10 reviews. So that's where we had some feedback. Yeah, okay.
Okay. So yeah, we can always widgets the widgets right now is like we use the widgets that we currently have from our previous ReviewPanda system, the snapshot. We are going to be modifying these widgets in future iterations. It's just right now we were so caught up with like getting everything else to work properly that widgets were kind of like something we left in the back burner, but we are going to be tackling that. And we're going to be making it a lot nicer looking, and something we can integrate a lot better into all sorts of websites, whether it be funnel pages or WordPress sites. And we have a lot of ideas that we're going to implement, but for now this is what we have. And if you have any suggestions, feel free to send us any suggestions on our support channel on Freshdesk, so we can kind of like direct them directly to our developers and kind of modify these, whether it be widgets or whatnot.
Do you have plans to allow us to combine sub-accounts in terms of what we present in widget? If you've got a client that's got 3 locations, it'd be nice to be able to just include them all in one spot.
So for multi-location, the thing is, what we decided to do is, since high level, you can have like unlimited sub-accounts, we want to tie into that kind of model. So if you have multiple locations, you would create multiple sub-accounts, and I guess for the widgets, you would want to have it all under one, all the reviews under one. So that's something we're going to be tackling in a future iteration for multi-location. It is a little complex, and since we really wanted to get this launched as soon as possible, we didn't tackle that because that would have like caused some more delays in launching ReviewPanda. But this is something we are going to be tackling in the future for multi-location. As of now, if you have anything multi-location, it's going to be you're going to have to kind of separate into different sub-accounts. So that's what we have so far in ReviewPanda. What I'm going to do right now is go through everything we have on the high-level side. So I'm gonna power through everything until we get to the funnels, and I'm gonna go through each funnel one by one. So first things first is the review request form. Obviously, we went through that prior. On marketing, we have campaigns. Everything is added to this specific folder over here. Just make sure you don't delete or rename anything. It's very important. What you can do, however, is I know a lot of people want to change their campaign trip. Maybe have like one email sent out, or maybe multiple emails sent out. What you can do is you can create your own, import the sub account, import the snapshot into a sub account, modify the information on that sub account, and then create a snapshot from that sub account and use that as your main sub account to load whenever you're creating new clients under ReviewPanda. So I'm going to create a video on that, on how to do that, and it might sound a little complex, but it's not that hard to do. And then from there, you can kind of have your own version of ReviewPanda, your own campaigns that you're running, your own drip sequences, your own verbiage that you want to use in your own campaigns moving forward. So I'll probably create a video on that next week. It shouldn't be too long. But for now, you shouldn't be, I guess, messing with anything, because a lot of these campaigns, especially this activation welcome email, ties into our automation that we have set up. Mainly the titles itself, but if you want to, go in and change the verbiage of the email, feel free to do that. So when we go to Form Builder, we have 4 different forms over here. Each one of them is, neatly located into each of the funnel pages. You can review each one of them. The feedback form is if someone clicks on 1 to 2 stars, this is the feedback form. If you have it set up for your review threshold for 4 to 5, 1 to 3 stars will show the feedback form. The negative feedback form is 1 to 3 stars. The feedback form is the direct review. So I'm going to show how that looks like on the funnel page itself. Review request form is exactly this right here. And review submitted is something you shouldn't touch, because this is something that we use on our backend. So whenever someone submits a review, it posts back to our review management system, and then it hits this form right here to run a trigger. We got trigger links over here. We just have one trigger link, which is the unsubscribe trigger link. Email templates and SMS templates. You can go in and modify this as need be. So all the reviews, all the templates are over here. So you have the direct review SMS and email, the negative feedback email. You can feel free to go in here and modify them as you please. They're pretty much, each one of them is similar, but it triggers. So for instance, if you're sending a direct review request, it's going to use the direct review content and so on and so forth. Let's see. So under reporting, not reporting, but under reputation, this is a new link that will show up for your sub account clients. So whenever someone clicks on this link right here, they'll be able to access all of their reviews once it loads. Okay, well, this is, let me hard refresh this. I don't know why this is happening. I'm gonna have to look into that. Not sure if anyone else is having this issue. Okay, so this is all the reviews that we have for this specific sub account. And if you scroll down, you can go to different pages. This is where your clients can actually go in and perform actions like approve or deny any of the pending reviews. This will be updated in future iterations, so it's going to be a lot easier to kind of manage and sort through. For triggers, everything is neatly located in a trigger folder. I would say just, don't touch any of these triggers unless you know what you're doing, because a lot of these triggers, kind of tie into other triggers, and a lot of our the RMS system kind of ties into the triggers that are located on the RMS system under your snapshot. So I would say don't touch this unless you know exactly what you're doing. We can go through any of the triggers if any of you guys have any questions on that. And on the settings page, the custom values, a lot of these custom values are automatically pushed, like the location access key and the callback. However, if you go through the setup video that I put together, the URLs is something that you would need to publish and kind of pop in over here. This is the only thing we can't do automatically yet, but in the future, updates, if high level gives us the opportunity to add a domain over here and publish them on a funnel page, and then we'll be able to push them onto the custom values, so we could have like a truly turnkey solution. But for now, the only thing you need to do is set up a domain, publish them onto your funnel page, and then from there copy and paste the values under the custom values for all the URLs over here. Okay, so what we're going to do next is go to the funnels and go through the library over here. So we have the direct review page, which looks like this. You can select, let's say, 5 stars, upload an avatar, type in your name, email, and feedback, and click on send feedback. test.com, and click on this right here, click on send feedback. All right, so if the threshold is 4 and 5, what's going to happen is it's going to go over to this page right here, and it's going to let your client know, or the visitor know, to if they can post a review on the review sites over here. However, if the review is below the threshold from 1 to 3, it won't post, and it'll show up. It'll just show a thank you. And you won't have a funnel going to the external review sites. This is for the direct review funnels only. The stars funnel is pretty straightforward. So anything from 1 to 3 is going to show a feedback form, and 4 and 5 will show your review channels right here. The video review, as you all know, you all left us a video review, so I'm not going to go through that specifically unless any of you guys have questions. Faces, hearts, and thumbs are just different styles that you can use. No segmentation is if you don't have any segmentation, you just want to show the review sites by itself without any stars or any other rating system. The poster is something that you can print out for your clients, or your clients will print out. And then what they can do is they can add this onto their wall or whatever the case is. And it looks like there's an issue with this. I'm not sure why the QR code isn't showing up. It should show up. I think I'm gonna have to look into that. The review, sorry, I'm just gonna like make a note of this real quick. So the signature generator is something that your clients, so this is everything that gets sent out to your clients. The signature generator is going to be something that once you type in your company name and the URL of the funnel page, just click on generate, and then you'll have different types of email signatures. And then from there, you can just copy this to clipboard and paste it into, you know, either whatever email platform your client uses. So it's a nice little tool that they can use themselves to kind of generate their own signature and then paste it onto their, you know, email software that you use, either whether it's Outlook or whatnot. The opt-in page is just a funnel page for opting in. You know, your clients can use this on an iPad at a location, or if they want to stand alone and, you know, send a link, they can send this by themselves. And the unsubscribe page is just a good looking unsubscribe page. If someone clicks on unsubscribe, that's pretty much it. You can modify any of these pages to, you know, change the look and feel to your liking. I think that's pretty much it. Fer, do you have any updates on? Is there anything else you think I'm forgetting over here?
I'm just looking at the questions coming in right now.
Yeah, I see 37 chat messages.
I think pretty much one of the questions that Tim just asked is, and someone else also asked that question is, for the sub account, do the sub accounts have access to anything from the RMS? So how do they respond back to the reviews? How do they view their own reviews?
Yeah, so for reviewing, like I said, if they want to respond back to a review, if it's Google or Facebook, they need to like log into their own review and their own, you know, Facebook or Google, you know, page, and then to respond directly. We don't have a review response system yet directly integrated, but it's going to be something that we're going to be adding in the future. As soon as a new review gets posted, whether it's a direct review, camera tag review, or a review that gets pulled in from DataShake, there is a let's go to campaigns actually. New review notification. This gets triggered whenever a new review comes in, and it's going to be sending an email to your client saying that there's a new review on a specific source, and then from there they'll know, okay, so we got a new review, and they need to go in and kind of like action that review.
But right now, the user themselves don't have access on their side.
To respond to reviews, no.
Or just even view a list of all the reviews.
Yeah. If you click on reputation over here and you click on RMS reviews, you'll have a list of all the reviews that came in. And this is the newest one that came in. Okay. It's pending approval. This is the test that I sent out from the direct review channel. So if I click on perform actions, I can either delete, deny, or approve it. I don't know why this is. This, okay, well, you could either click on deny, approve, or delete, but for some reason this is not activated. I'm going to take a look at that and see why that's the case. This is an update that we can do on our own system on the review side, on the RMS system side.
So you touched on this point. I just want to elaborate on it a little more.
Yeah.
So Tim says, I don't have that RMS review sub tab on any of my sub accounts.
Under reputation and RMS reviews. Okay. So a lot of these issues that might spring up, what I would suggest you to do is go to your dashboard, sorry, your sub accounts, click on the specific sub account that you have configured, and make sure your location ID is set up over here properly. And if your location ID is the exact location ID that you have for that specific sub account, everything should show up. And also what I would suggest you to do is go to agency settings and make sure your JavaScript over here is set up properly. The only reason why the RMS system is not pushing anything to your sub account is if any of those two values are incorrect. If your sub accounts aren't set up properly or your JavaScript is not set up properly. And if both things are set up properly, please send us a support ticket. There might be a JavaScript conflict somewhere that we need to investigate.
Has the JavaScript for the agency level settings, has that changed recently?
No, that hasn't changed. That's something that we're not going to change. It's basically what this does is this is kind of like an interconnection between the RMS system and your high level account. So we know exactly which locations to push the review request button, which location to push that specific RMS reviews tab button or anything else. And it's a way for us to interact back and forth between the RMS system and your sub account. So it's really important that it gets set up properly.
So I had about a week where I was trying to figure that out on my own.
Yeah.
And then I simply copy and pasted the script part to the very end of the agency settings. And miraculously, it started working. So it literally has to be the last thing in that agency settings section.
Yeah. So like I said, if you've put it, if everything is set up correctly on your side and you're still having issues, you can try. Sorry, I think it was Peter. Was that Peter that was talking?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can try what Peter suggests and just paste it onto, at the very end of your agency settings JavaScript. And if you're still having issues, reach out to us, because at that point, I think you're probably having some sort of like, JavaScript conflict and it's not loading properly. So we probably want to investigate and adjust that either directly onto your account or maybe push an update on our side.
Yes, sure. I have a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Assuming we're at that point, right?
Yep.
So putting a form on a tablet, like for self-serve, in a doctor's office or something like that,
Yeah.
does that form gonna refresh? Is it like a JSON deal to refresh automatically?
It's honestly it's a high level form. So I mean, as soon as like it actually it works just exactly like a high level form would. So you put in the information and click on the send a review request, and then it'll say thank you, and then at that point you would have to refresh the page. Once you're on that page, if you're using a tablet, you'd want to refresh that page and go back to the first step.
Can you build some kind of script that it refreshes the page back? Because that would be a problem for a business.
Is that something that everyone else, if anyone else can chime in, and is anyone else, is this something that everyone else wants to have done automatically on their side? I can put that into our list over here.
What's the request?
What I was saying was, so if you have in the current system I'm using, they have what they call it a sign-in form. So basically that form is sitting on a tablet that a customer, let's say checking into a dental office or somewhere, if you weren't using an API, could just, the client, the customer, the patient can just punch their information in, and they'll send, after their appointment, they'll send them a review request. The problem is if that doesn't refresh and just sits there, then they walk away, the next person walks up to that screen, they don't know what to do.
Okay, so what I can do is I'm going to see if I don't know if I'm going to make that a global setting. If it's not going to be a global setting, it might be an option that we're going to add onto our RMS, so that you can either check like activate it or not. And if you activate it, then what's going to happen is if anyone enters in information, it automatically refresh and go back to the first step. So it can truly be like a kiosk mode for your clients.
Yeah, that's what we're kind of looking for. And if it's not a big deal, if you're adding that, maybe let us load like a front-facing page, funnel page that could have a picture and say, leave us a review, and then they tap a button and it goes into the form, they fill it out, and then it clears them out when they're done, and it's ready.
Got it. I understand. So just like a first step, where it's like, leave us a review, and you click on that, then it goes to the forum, and then from there you just type in whatever it is, and then okay, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, because it'll explain what people are looking for, as opposed to just looking at a form on a screen. They don't know, am I supposed to fill this out? Is the receptionist supposed to fill it out? They don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So one more. Camera tag. When you leave camera tag videos, where do they show up? Where do those videos go to? Do they go to that widget somehow, or what happens?
So whenever anyone leaves a camera tag review, it will show up on your review list over here. Well, either on the sub account level or the agency level. If you click on sub accounts, you click on view and configure, you'll see it's just like how you have an internal review over here. You'll have a video review over here. Maybe if I can go to, what's the account? Oh my God.
So let me continue to ask the same question. But so if I'm a user, I'm a business, and I create a page on my website that shows all my reviews, once I approve it, will those camera tag reviews, is there like a placeholder for them? Will they populate that widget, that page that's showing my reviews on it? How do my customers see the reviews that I've gotten from video?
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's it'll show up on your widgets. So if you're using the widgets, it'll show up on the widgets. And what you can do is, if you want to use the video reviews standalone, like let's say upload them onto YouTube or whatever the case is, once you click on perform actions over here, you'll have the video review. You can click on it and download that asset on your side, and then from there you can upload it wherever you want to upload it. I'm going to try to find the account that we have for our own video reviews, just so I can show you how that looks like.
That's on the Grow account.
Yeah, I'm just opening it up on my other screen over here.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's like review marketing, right? Like, how do I get that out into public facing?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I guess or can we design our own funnel page and put some kind of script embed placeholder that like videos can show up on that page or something?
So here's the video reviews, right, for our own account. So if you click on perform actions, you'll have the video review over here. You'll have the text over here. You can either approve, deny. This button's not working, as you saw previously. I got to get that fixed, or delete the video review itself. You click on these three buttons right here, and you can click on download. And when you click on download, you'll be able to download the video review, and then post that anywhere you want. YouTube or whatnot.
So that wouldn't normally, or would it normally flow through to some kind of a public facing page?
The widgets is where it would post. You know what I mean? If you're using widgets, and it'll be posted on the widgets. And
is it just like random? So if I have 10 reviews on the page, and the fourth one has a video and the seventh one has a video, they're just going to like randomly be in that list as I'm looking at the page? Or is like there an organized way I can have videos like in a column on the right,
so
my printed reviews on the left, or something like that?
So right now they're kind of integrated into all the other reviews. Like I said earlier in the video, the widgets is something we're going to be working on.
Right.
We kind of need to refine. So once we get a good enough feedback and we're comfortable and confident that everything else is working properly, the widgets is something we're going to be tackling, and we're going to have a way where you can kind of maybe a filtering option. So on the widgets you can kind of just have video reviews, or you could just have a set of all reviews, or you can even have a filtering option for the customers itself, so they can actually select, I only want to see video reviews for this company, and they click on video reviews and it'll just show them a list of video reviews. So there's a lot of cool things that we want to add on these widgets. It's just once we get to that point where we're tackling the widgets, then we're going to kind of like clean up what we currently have and kind of add more to what we have.
Any chance we can see the video and other reviews on a live page, like the widget itself with video?
on a live page. Can you?
Yeah, or just go to that JS tool that you had and put it in the script for what you're showing right here and show us how it shows up.
Oh, right. On the
On a
widget
customer
itself.
facing
Yeah.
side,
Okay.
right?
Let's
Yeah, I think Trevor and I are on the same question page here.
let's see. Sub accounts. Ugh. Okay. So I mean, I can't really see what I'm clicking on over here because this new menu.
Playing with it still. We're a work in progress.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
no
see.
worries. Just trying to understand what we have and what we don't have.
No, work in progress means for our menus right now. See the top
Okay.
nav? So we're still
Welcome
playing
to
with it.
demo hell.
So I use my account as the pure demo account, so all my clients keep seeing new things happening all the time.
Gotcha. Yeah, there we go. So that would be a customer facing page.
Okay, so this is obviously not supposed to be there, and the reason why this is showing up, and I just realized right now, is because this specific account doesn't have any other reviews. It just has video reviews. So there's nothing to calculate over here or show anything over here. So this is 100% something I need to fix. That's something I accounted for.
And I see a play button on the right side for Yasmiel Kazwan, the fourth one down.
Yeah, exactly.
So
you
that's
click on
how the
that.
video plays. Okay.
So that's going to be.
Yeah, so we'll want to show widgets as well. I mean, show the, what do you call it? Image.
Yeah, so there's obviously like I said, we kind of like directly integrated with the widgets that we currently have. There are things that we need to kind of adjust and fix on the widget side, but this is how it's going to look like if you have anything integrated onto the current widgets for videos.
Yeah. So, as long as there's somewhere we can get to them. Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, just FYI, when you do get the redesign stuff, I mean, and I don't know how anybody else feels, but I think it might be helpful to have, let's say, like a 2-column page, like a 2/3 and a 1/3 or something like that. And in the 1/3 column, maybe we have, we show 6 or 7 videos, but on the left side where the reviews always show 10 or 15 live reviews,
If you guys have any,
maybe just have the videos, a set amount of videos on top and then the readable reviews below.
Something to set right, because I don't want to have necessarily a one-to-one relationship. I might have like 5 best videos up there, but my latest 15 reviews.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, like, right. If you guys also have like, examples of like current systems you're using, for widgets, send it our way, and then we can kind of like model after that and kind of like
You just want a link to a page, or what would you prefer?
It doesn't matter, honestly. A link to a page,
a screenshot,
picture, a screenshot, whatever it is, a Loom video, whatever it is, just so we can kind of draw up an inspiration and understand exactly what it is that you guys want, and we can kind of like go in and start developing that.
I mean, I use something called Reputation Kahuna, which you might be familiar with or not, but I mean, I could set up a business account for you guys just to see how everything in there works.
Yeah, absolutely. And if there's anything specific that you want to reference on Rep Kahuna, like, just let us know, and then we can kind of like.
They have the refreshed sign-in page and everything like that. So I mean, there's a couple different things that is cool about that system.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you guys are on the right track here.
Yeah, so for sure, like, send everything our way, and then we can kind of like review it. And we have like a huge list of features that we want to add in, but we want to keep expanding on that and eventually have a system that you guys are using and profiting off of, and we're proud to call it a system that GHL experts develop. So we're on our way there. Obviously there are bugs that we need to kind of like fix and refine, but with help from the community and your feedback, we will know what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong. So if you could send us anything like that, and we can kind of like put that on the list and get our developers to jump on, that would be great.
What about triggering reviews from a API, right? And from that perspective, from an action occurring on the side of the customer, right? May it be a repair order closing, a parts ticket closing, car sale closing, whatever it is, to have that trigger the review request to go out automatically. But the trick with that is that we don't want every request to go out, because like again, in Rep Kahuna, if I sent you a review request today and you happen to come in and have another service done, 10 days from now, I don't want to send you another review request, maybe not for 60 or 90 days from now, because I don't want all your reviews to be the only reviews on the page, right?
So Something like that would be more.
So it's doable through a tagging system. You just add a tag on, and that'll initiate the trigger. However, we don't have a time constraint capability yet.
Yeah, that's something that.
I mean, can you remove a tag after a set period of time though? So basically you add the tag of reviewed and then create a trigger to remove that tag after a set period of time.
You can, I believe you.
That's a good idea, but you need some sort of threshold to put on there. Like Bird Eye in the back end, it says, don't send review within 60 days of last review. Don't send a review within 90 days of last review. So
Yeah,
they
so-
can be pumped in there through an API, say through with like a restaurant Wi-Fi, and they come in to eat 3 days a week. They came in 12 times that month. You don't want to bother them with a review every single time. So you pump them in the API and let the system, the reputation platform handle sending it basically.
Okay, so here's what I would like, if possible, if you can, Scott, Trevor, Glenn, whatever it is, if you could send us a review for something, maybe Bird Eye that you guys have currently with Bird Eye, on like the options that are available. This is something that we're probably going to have to, we could put on our list, and we can have something where, on the RMS system itself, it's going to have an option of like, just like you said, don't send a review if a review was sent out in the last 60 days or whatnot, with a time constraint, and we can kind of trigger it through the RMS system instead of like, using high level, because high level doesn't have that option. So we can kind of take it one step up on the chain and kind of like trigger it through the RMS system itself. So I don't know if it's a big ask, but I mean, if any of you can send us like a support ticket with a video on that, it'll help us a lot to kind of like know, okay, so we need to add this option and this option and this option, and kind of like streamline it for our developers.
Yeah, I mean, Bird Eye does that. Kahuna does that. I don't know about Great.us, but yeah, we definitely can look at that.
Cool.
Yeah, and right now, are we capable of triggering review requests via an API right now?
Well, you can do it through Zapier. You can do anything through Zapier. I mean, if you pass it through, an API, and then from there, I think there's an ad campaign or whatever it is. Just add the campaign onto that client through Zapier, and then from there, they'll get the drip sequence.
What if I
I
just
mean,
have a native API, like a RESTful API that I'm getting right from a system?
Yeah, like I said, if you have something like that, you would probably want to push it through Zapier.
Yeah, because it'd have to be client specific. If you're dealing with a restaurant, obviously, they're going to have a higher frequency of potential review targets. If you're dealing with like a mortgage broker,
Right.
I mean, we have it set up to where if they hit the close loan, it automatically fires the review request by their stage of the pipeline. So, I mean, each business is going to be a little bit different. It would be hard to have something centralized within this type of dashboard.
That and also parsing the information. Every API is going to be pushing information differently. So just parsing information, we just won't know how to parse information. So that's why I'm saying
Right.
using Zapier, because then at that point you have full control over parsing that information, push it onto a specific webhook in Zapier and capture that information and then parse it however you want. And then from there, you push it onto the RMS system. So, I mean, it's something that I could probably create a video on. And then, once we have that time constraint option on the RMS system on a ReviewPanda, and then from there I can create a quick video on like how to set that up, so you guys can kind of like integrate it into your own external use cases.
Sean, we have two questions I want to go over.
Yeah,
One
go ahead.
is, can you go back to the pipelines? Some people are having issues with the opportunities not being updated correctly.
I think this
Opportunities. So let's me see. So this is all working smoothly when we send out a request, and then people respond back. It progresses correctly.
It should. What I suggest is, sorry to cut whoever it was talking. What I suggest is make sure you update to the latest snapshot. Because what I did was I think I removed creating a duplicate on opportunities. And I think that was causing an issue because if you test it out multiple times, it's just gonna it's not going to push the current kind of review onto online review, video review, or whatever it is.
Okay, so my question there that I'm running into problems with is we start out in the opportunities named like Sharana, and then it starts off with the client's name, but then it transitions to online review and it says Facebook. So it's really kind of, but it has the contact's name in there, but then what it does is it's updating it updates the opportunity to the name of the source that they left the review. Like shouldn't like the version 1, it moved the opportunity over with the client's name so that it says, hey, they left a review. I think, wouldn't there be a better place to leave to indicate whether it was a Facebook or a Google review than changing the opportunity? Because like if we're tracking, if you're dealing with a small number of reviews, you really kind of want to keep track of who, because the only way to do it now is to go into the opportunity and look at their contact name.
Right.
So that's so as you can see over here, review source is what we use for the opportunity name. Maybe what we can do is you can add.
So I did play around with adding the contact name and things in there, but then it's like, where then do you just update it so that it says contact name source? But again, I was having problems with this in general because, and maybe this is a bug that got fixed, so it was kind of two birds with one stone, where we would do a review and then the contact wouldn't come over, so that it was creating that duplicate opportunity. So then what it was doing was actually changing the name of the customer when they came through, if they were to leave that review. So then it was still left in new request, but then it created a new one saying Facebook on the other side, but then renamed the contact.
Okay, so I think this is handled with the newest snapshot that you would import. Like I said, I did remove. Let's see. If I go to different account, which account is this? Oh man, so many tabs. Let's go to the Wendy's. I think I did remove on the triggers. Let's check this one over here. Yeah, so I did remove the allow duplicate opportunities on the newest one. So what I would suggest is just test out the newest one and see if it causes the same issue.
So,
yeah.
So I asked this question at the beginning. So one of the things that I know, this is kind of still very early days with this snapshot.
Yeah.
But how's the best way to kind of manage if you guys are making incremental changes and squashing bugs? I noticed that when you had loaded the snapshot, you had loaded the imported version. Normally I thought kind of the best, the typical way you deal with this is load the imported snapshot, create a template, and then create your own snapshot from that original template. So that way, if you needed to tweak the template, then you could. But when you guys are making, even if you don't do that step and you run the imported template or the imported snapshot rather, how's the best way to keep track of and so that we can reasonably roll out bug squashes and things like this and updates?
So we do send it on email if ever we do an update on the snapshot. However, there's no easy way to do this, to be honest with you. We are going to be implementing a change log on the GHL Experts ReviewPanda page, so you can kind of like keep track of anything we did change on the snapshot or on the system itself. However, whenever you're importing a snapshot, just rename it to the latest date, and then you can whatever you suggested right there is actually the best way to maintain your snapshots is to create a new sub account from the imported snapshot, and then create a.
When you guys update your snapshot, because when you import a snapshot in, you don't get the opportunity to rename it before you add it into the account.
Got it.
So you guys could please add the version or the date or both.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be super helpful.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I already made a note of that based on the questions that came in.
Yeah.
So every time we'll add the version and we'll put a date whenever we publish a new one. So when you get it, you'll be able to differentiate right away. And one of the things we talked about is in terms of the whole backward compatibility, or just how do you know what's been changed? So part of the change log we're going to notify you on. At the same time, what we want to do is be a little granular, saying, okay, we changed this campaign and this campaign. So when you're importing something, you'll be aware of what specifically was imported.
Perfect. So then as far as that, there's, you kind of just got to manage it case by case as it happens. So like if you guys fix that, like if you, because I'm just thinking about like the kind of things that you might fix. If it's something related to a high level, the high level side, if it's something related to like your guys' side, like your guys' like systems on the back end, then yeah, there's not much that we typically would have to update on our end to make that work because it's dealt with on your end. But if there's something that your guys are doing on the high level side, I think you kind of have to have some kind of level of detail in the change log so that if we needed to manually take that action in, say, our template, then it's easy, it's straightforward to do.
Yeah, so we're going to do our best to kind of break down what's changed in case there would be a potential issue where things could get overwritten. So we'll try that out, see what happens. So we'll try testing that out on our side as well.
Yeah.
All right, great. Thank you so much.
Guys, what about like just general reporting? Is there anything here that shows me how many reviews came in for a date range? Or, you know, if I have more than one source, is it breaking out how many came in from Google versus Facebook?
There's no reports right now. That's like later we're looking at.
Okay.
Right now it's just about getting everything working flawlessly. Then once we have that, then the reporting is easier on our side to build out.
Okay.
We have all the data on our side. So I mean, like for us, that's one of the key things. You know, if we have the data, then we can build off the data. So you know, at that point, you know, building out reviews is going to be a breeze. We just need to get a designer on board to kind of you know, get us some nice looking reports, and then from there we integrate it into our system.
And what about any sales materials? Where are you guys at with any of that kind of stuff?
For now, I'll be honest with you, Glenn, we really want to get the system flawless or close to flawless as possible, so that at least the major bugs are taken care of and we don't have issues that you guys are reporting. Once we're confident and you know, we have it, because as it stands right now, we haven't even the system isn't even open to public. You know what I mean? Like we're not onboarding anyone else. It's just the people that had the V1, the snapshot that migrated over, and we're sticking to that until we're confident. Once we're confident, we're bringing on new you know, clients onto the system. At that point, you know, we're going to be developing sales material and you know, the different tactics on how to like you know, have a turnkey solution, because I know a lot of people want to have that turnkey solution where it's more hands off. So we're going to be building on material and show you guys how to kind of tackle that, how to onboard clients, as well as how to manage clients on an ongoing basis for review management.
Okay.
Got a request here. Can you guys, anytime you guys make a Zapier video, can you make one for Integromat too?
Yeah, that's something that I can do as well.
Anas can do that one. We're not really Integromat people. We're Zapier people. But Anas
is Anas in here? Where are you, Anas? He's hiding.
He was.
He was, huh?
Okay.
I think he ran when he heard that.
But yeah, so we will look into that part.
Yeah, Integromat's just cheaper and Zapier inexpensive.
And no need to have both.
So what do you guys, so I've been kind of like between a rock and a hard place because I've been wanting really to move to this, but I know you have, you know, bugs and things you're fixing. Where do you feel like you're at right now? You know, should I load this thing or should I wait 2 days? Are you know, what's on your like to get done list here ASAP?
So look, obviously dealing with all the bug reports coming into our support channel is number one on a priority list, and you know, getting our support team trained up is kind of also on the top priority list, so that if any other reports come in, we can kind of like tackle them as soon as possible, and there's we don't have any long delays. I don't really have a timeline on that because, to be honest, once we ran our beta tests with our small group, we're pretty confident on like releasing that. And once we released everything, we realized like, you know, it's not really ready because you guys were having issues. And it's hard for us to tackle everything and kind of account for everything because, you know, we have other things that we're dealing with as well. You know, we have our own agencies that we run and our own teams that we run. But all this to say is, I would say maybe a week or two, depending on how fast our support team gets trained up and how fast our support team can support you guys. I would say maybe a week or two. You know, if you want a real concrete answer, once we launch to the public and we start onboarding people, other clients, then you know 100% we're confident that, you know, we want to onboard new clients, that you can go ahead and start like adding this to the masses. Apart from that, you know, you just just keep an eye on the Facebook group and see exactly what updates we're posting. And if you're confident enough, you know, from the testing that we've done and, you know, the reports that come in from, or, you know, the posts that we post on our Facebook channel, then you can go ahead and start releasing this to your clients. I don't think we're too far off.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it really depends on your use case and what it is you need for your clients.
Yep. I don't know if we asked this question. When you request a review, and I noticed that in the settings you can have it request. Are they separate? Are there separate requests for video versus a regular written type review?
Yeah,
physically separate requests.
There are separate requests.
Okay.
So I believe somebody did request having one master request form where, you know, you can, just like how you can send it through SMS and email,
Right.
you know, you can select all, and then from there, you know, it's just one kind of review request that you can kind of like, I have to think of that, and if it's something that gets traction, then, you know, it's something I can kind of implement into a new iteration of the snapshot.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking, you know, one is maybe just easier to manage. People could hit with two different links. They may be like, oh, another request. You know, like they don't really realize what's going on. They just see it like you asked them twice for a review kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well,
Was there any other video? Sorry, any other were there any other questions in the chat that I need to kind of address?
I had one.
Yep.
You pointed out, you know, the obvious importance of having the right location ID in a sub account. And I went back and looked, and one of the ones that I set up when I was experimenting had the wrong location ID, and you cannot change it.
You can't update it on your side, on
You
the
cannot.
agency side. Okay, that's interesting. I'm gonna have to take a look at that and see why. Let me mark that down. Okay, this is yeah, no, this should be editable, but it's not. Okay, I'll adjust that and
Great.
this week. Yep.
If I could add to the last point, the one I asked was having like after they choose 5 stars, and then having the customer choose whether or not they want to leave a direct review or one on social or a video. That way we don't bug people. We don't know what kind of review they're going to want to ask or leave, I mean. And so I think that would be pretty important to have a page that they can go in and choose which one they want to have. Even if it's something custom that I could create, cool, but everything's all custom inside that landing page.
So like 5 stars, then from there, you know, post it. You can post on Google, Facebook, leave a video review, or write a direct review.
Correct.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I need to think of that in terms of getting like a master funnel that kind of encompasses everything.
I've kind of set that up manually with ReviewShake, not DataShake, but it's the same company.
Yeah.
And I don't have video through that, but I did set up one that is a manual as well as the different review sources.
Can you send me an example of that? I just want to see how they tackle that.
Yeah, you bet.
Cool.
Yeah, and to Fred's point, I mean, some of the issue, like my clients are working behind PCs. It's a B2B, like industrial type of business.
Yeah.
And if we send a review request to someone on a PC without a camera, it's kind of useless. Video request. A phone is one thing. A phone, is going to have a camera in it, but a PC may not.
Okay, so
like at a parts counter, a PC is not going to probably have a camera in it.
Yeah. I mean,
so if we sent one review and they don't have a camera, they can choose. Yeah, I'll just leave a text review, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Look, I'm like, while you guys are talking, I'm kind of like, brainstorming a little, and like I have a few solutions, but I'm going to go back to our dev team and kind of like run these issues with them and kind of like get some solutions, and we'll probably get a new iteration of the snapshot out by next week with this in place.
And I don't want to speak for anybody else, but I know how hard you guys have been working on this, and we're just giving you our feedback. That's all.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like we want the feedback so we can kind of like I said, make this a complete solution for you guys, for all agencies that are using high level. Guys, I got to jump off in about 5 minutes. I got to take care of some family stuff. Is there anything that I missed on the chat? Anyone want to jump on? Some other questions?
Yeah, so I touched on questions along the way. People jumped in and answered the questions as well. So I believe we're good. If there's anything I missed or we skimmed over, feel free to jump in right now. Else, you can just send us a support ticket afterwards and we'll jump onto it.
So on the support tickets, I know a lot of you are messaging us on Facebook, and I keep jumping in and saying to send a support ticket. And the only reason why I'm doing that is because I am training our support staff to tackle these support tickets, and I want to have like a very defined process for this. You know what I mean? Like right now, you guys are having issues and we want to tackle those issues. But in the future, if other people have issues, I want to have our support staff be able to kind of tackle every issue that comes in. So I want them to kind of like get engaged with every issue that might come in that you guys are flagging. So I implore you guys, whatever the case is, even if it's a feature update you guys are looking for, send it off to our support ticket, and then we can take a look at it. We have a log of it as well. It's not going to be kind of lost in our Facebook group. So yeah, just send it off.
Put a link in either like in a Facebook post or even on your members site, gohelloexperts.com.
We have.
Did you add one? Because I know as of last week I didn't. Okay.
It's a different thing, but I mean, at this point, if you click on that, you'll get access to our support channel, and you can kind of like run our the support request.
Put it on the splash page, so like I don't have to even be logged. I can just click it and get it right over to your.
Yeah, cool. I'll
yeah. That way, it will be more easier to think about using it.
Or just don't use it. That's why we're making it so hard. We're putting within pages.
Yeah, you're burying it. Yeah, you want people to use it. Put it in their face.
So we're trying to find that thin line, like not too obvious, but not too hidden.
You know what? Honestly, we're probably gonna like I'll put it on the RMS system over here. I'll put somewhere like, once you load this page or whatever it is, need support, something like this. Click on that, and it's gonna redirect to the
Yeah, make it easy. We'll use it because we're lazy. What is that URL again? I can't remember. I'll leave my note in Messenger. I know you don't want that.
So I guess we'll wrap it up now.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. I appreciate everyone showing up and using this.